See, are you? To Montana, I think, right? No, it's Optimus Prime. That's different. William F. Halsey Jr. Okay, let's make it an S. There we go. So we got him here. So I try to order them in how useful they are. There's of course also things about how you obtain them. I think Halsey and Yamamoto are pretty hard to obtain. So they could lose a few points in your own rating for that. But let's see what they all bring. Let's see what they all bring. It's all legendary ones? Okay, good. So, we're going for Halsey here. Halsey got a grease of gears and a gun feeder. I'll just put in the base of what they have. Halsey. Grease of gears. Small size. Gun feeder. Those are the normal skills. A little small, still readable, good. Grease the gears, gun feeder, and what's his specialty? He got Imprecate, and it is squadron, main battery, or torpedo reload time. Reduced. And this is after Confederates, so implacable, right? Implacable. Reload after Confederate. That's the most important part. Then we got, let's see, actually you start out with him, give him a place. William Halsey is, William, yes, thank you, William Halsey, is pretty hard to obtain, or it used to be pretty hard to obtain. No, it's still through missions, right? Because you have to get through all the, it's not really collection, no, it's, it's campaigns, yes. The thing they never use. UI stuck, of course. UI stuck. You have to go through this entire campaign, which takes ages. I believe it is hard. No, this is probably not him, right? Oh yeah, this. And you have to go through this entire campaign, which is campaigns take a long time to get through if you don't focus them. So it's hard to get. When you have Halsey, you get a reload buff after getting Confederates. That means you have to get Confederate first. So this only applies after you're already winning, usually after winning the game. Sometimes you can get, it's a nice buff for when you're, if your team might be dying, you still get a Confederate, you have a bit better chance of doing things, and it can be pretty insane. Grease of gears is good if you like your battleship mostly. I don't think there's many cruisers American that need grease of gears, but it's nice. And you get gun feeder, which is always nice on battleship. I would say mostly Montana or battleship focused. It only affects after the Confederate, so I think he's decent. I wouldn't say he's insane. He's an okay one. He's just not insanely good. So I put it for now at A. And we might change it up a bit, but I think he's a nice A or B. Since he is okay, not great, he's just nice to use, but when you use this, you usually already have won the game. So it's not that game changing to play with Halsey. Grease of gears and gun feeder are nice, but I think you can get that on other special captains as well. So let's have a look at Yamamoto. Now be on my Musashi. So for Yamamoto you get also grease the gears and you get preventive maintenance, and I think grease the gears and preventive maintenance, grease gears and nothing. Yeah, grease gears and preventive maintenance, and I don't see anything for carriers. Front Mazes. Okay. And the special thing about him, Kraken means heal, pretty substantial heal. 120 seconds you get 0.4%. That's 0.4% HP, I assume, per second. So get a pretty substantial heal. How much is that? That's 40%. Is that 60-ish%? No, I would say it's around 50% HP, a bit lower. To get back over 120 seconds. I believe it also goes straight through any citadel damage. It ignores that. And you get a pretty substantial zero reload. Minus 34% on main batteries. So, Kraken is heal. So, you already see here, you need to get a Kraken or you need to get Confederates. Both are hard to get, but with a Kraken you're usually already winning as well. You do get a heal and reload, where you here only get a reload and after Confederate. So I would say that it's slightly hard to get, but the heal also being very substantial and the reload being 34%, which I believe with Halsey is only about 20%. So Yamamoto is definitely better than Halsey here. I still don't think Yamamoto is insane, because it's still, both of them are only happening after most of the battle is already done. Usually get a Kraken or Confederate at the end of the match. So mostly not too effective early game or mid game. I think I'll actually put them down one. Oh. Right. Put them down one. Because I think that Yamamoto is still not the best one. I still want to put Yamamoto in S rank. He's really good, but it's pretty hard to get. So I want to give him A, so William Halsey goes down to a B, because he's definitely less good. The Italian one. Oh yeah, correct, the Italian one. I forgot about this one. And you said I had every single one of them. The Italian guy. Who's that again? Sansonetti? I think it's Sansonetti. Italianos, there we are. I think he's Emilio? Not at the moment. Luigi Sansonetti, yeah, there he is. You're right. So, Luigi Sansonetti. That's correct, right? Yeah, right one go. Okay, good to know, So, well, since we're here, anyway, what do we get from him? Let's make sure we see all ships. So we got, on subsea there's nothing. We got Gunfeeder and Swiftfish. Okay. Good work. I don't really see this work on DDs except Paulo Medio. The rest is just a percentage increase of a low number is still not really worth it. Gunfeeder could, well, actually, you do have to switch up shells in your DD, so that's okay. And Gunfeeder with fish, just Gunfeeder. He does have Swiftfish for the carry, so he does have a carry option, which the other two didn't, because, well, they're older, they just didn't get a skill. So Swiftfish and Gunfeeder. And he gets special rapid fire after Confederates. And we get... okay, Confederate rapid fire. But he also gets, so let's make that all. But he also gets main battery range after a kill, and the rest is just unconcealed reserves here. Okay, concealed reserves gives you extra consume action time, and this happens after 100 shell time, after 100 shell hits. Okay. We need to do no to zoom out. Yeah, there we go. Still readable? Yes, still readable. Okay. So how do I show you the normal name there? Concealed reserves. To just get all the descriptions there. So concealed reserve. So you get a lot more options here. I have to look at them. I'm pretty sure they have more options than maybe. But at least you have to hit 100 times with main battery shells to get better action time on consumables, which is great with the smoke screen. So Sassonetti is pretty great because he just synergizes with what the ships need. The entire line of the Italians, whether it's the cruiser, DD, battleship, they are okay. Battleships are kind of trash, but they're okay. But when Sassonetti goes on, they become great. This guy is very well spec'd for the ships he gets to sit on. So much, in fact, that I'd say that the ships are actually need Luigi to be good. So I would say that he's actually, if you like your Italian ships, he's actually mandatory to make your ships great. Else your ships are okay or maybe even bad. So for the ship types, I put him, I think, yeah, I put him at 8 here because he is good at what he does. He is almost mandatory on Italian ships, which is, in my opinion, a downside. And some things you still need to get after. Range of the kill is pretty easy. Concealed reserves, check it again because I keep forgetting. You need 100 shell hits, which I don't think you can hit on anything but the cruisers, because the rest is really just not enough. Although maybe on... No, the reload is really awful on the battleships, even though they have a lot of shells. So, no, you can only get it on cruisers. So a bit more niche. The range is pretty easy to get though. Yeah, I think that the ships are a bit too dependent on him. If the ships were just great on their own, then he would maybe reach to the S tier. But because the ships really need him to be good, I think he should be an A tier, not an S tier. I think just the reliance upon it is not the best there. So Luigi, pretty great, pretty good. If you want to go for Italian ships, you kinda need to get him. Else the Italian ships are kinda meh. Let's have a look, maybe they have other skills I haven't seen, maybe I've missed something. Let's see, they're on the 9-10 ships, so put those up. Doesn't really matter, actually just do that. And we have on every single... Oh, make it to 9. So let's put him here. So, did we miss anything here? We got a Mercy Reserve for Yamamoto here, which I missed. First Blood, active consumables. I think I have to do the same thing. Yeah, I think that's how we should do it. No, because this one is First Blood. This duration, the other one is consumable extra. Make it bigger. It needs to be bigger. Yeah, there we go. So, is it still all on screen? Should be, and readable. Make it this. That's better. So, we got First Blood plus 1 consumable, which is still good. You get an extra heal there if you're going for the battleships. I think it's the only thing you get. Maybe an extra plane, which, well, we all know how effective planes are if you're on a battleship. But yeah. If you want to div, we can div up. Yeah, we can div up after this. Yeah, sure we can. Did I miss something about Halsey though? Halsey. Get him from where? What's your specialty here? Untraceable. Double strike is attackability down. Double strike improved concealment is nice. Usually if you're in the double strike position, you usually are in close proximity of enemies, so you want to go undetected. But it's very niche to get, so I would actually never count on this at all. It's nice, but it's so niche that I don't think you'll ever make use of this. So I don't think it's affect anything, so I will not change this position here. Cunningham is pretty great. And I think he might make an S tier actually. Where's my British one? Marlborough? He gets Consumable Specialist. Anything else? On Destroys, Consumable Specialists. Okay. And on carries he has Aircraft Armor. And Aircraft Armor. And as special abilities he gets, let's see, Ruthless, Reload after Witherer, this is only once per match I believe, right? Well, you're gonna get Witherer. Oh, can you get Witherer once? I don't, it's very hard. I would assume you can only do it once. Doesn't say it, but I would assume so. After 2 times flooding, your speed goes up. Or squadron speed goes up. After 2 times flooding, speed up. Which is pretty weird because you might use it on Daring or on the Audacious or any other type of DD or plane. It is nice. I don't know people who actually use it for that because he's pretty insane on battleships. So I don't think that's a very insane skill. But this one, Equipment Spoils. Destroy 2 ships to get additional charge for ship consumable. This is important. Why do I make a big deal of this? 2 kills is pretty easily doable. It's not that hard in a match, so you don't have to wait till late game. And you get 1 more consumable. Why this is so special is Andrew Cunningham is British. British cruisers and battleships have super heals. 1 more of those can change the battle. You know the reprint your ship thing? Here's another print. This is insane. So Cunningham, because of this one thing alone, and I'm ignoring the rest, just this thing alone will put him into S. Because this is just so fitting for his line. He's not that insane on the carriers because they don't have heals or any super special ability or consumable. And the DDs, same thing. It's not super powerful, but on the cruisers and battleships he is god tier. That's also why you never see this, because you can do it in your Minotaur, your Neptune and stuff, get the floodings and it gets speed up, which is nice, but it's not game changing. This is game changing. So that's why he gets into S tier. Kuznetsov, I mean that's that should be pretty obvious. Let's see, where is my... Let's take crunch stuff, why not? I still don't have him leveled up because he just... I'm not much for the British ones. Sorry, for the Russian ones. Let's see, we got submarines, nothing. Destroyers, we got consumable specialists. Same for cruisers. Same for battleships. Nothing on carriers. So, consumable specialists. And that's it. There we go. And we got ourselves Will for Victory. If your ship gets below 10% HP, you get a pretty significant heal. Doesn't say how long though. You get a pretty significant heal, and the dispersion of the enemies is worse against you by 20% worse, and you get a free DCP active. This obviously is insane, because you get this. You get this pretty reliably. The Russian cruisers and battleships are pretty tanky, so usually you can survive to 10% HP. Then you get an insane heal, DCP, and enemy dispersion against you is insane. So it's basically you're about to die. Well, you have to resurrect. That's basically what this is, which is insanely powerful, insanely easy to get. You don't have to wither for it, you don't have to Kraken for it, you don't have to Confederate for it. It's really easy to get, and it's really, really freaking powerful. And it automatically activates. It doesn't cost you any consumable, which of course you get with Cunningham. You do get an extra consumable. You don't even have to activate this. You get this for free. Especially on the battleships where you have a limited amount of DCPs, which is a stupid mechanic. But you have a limited amount of DCPs, you get one for free is insanely powerful. So that alone makes him S tier. And he's not done there. Emergency Reserve. First Blood gives you an extra charge for all consumables mounted on the ship. Hey, another DCP. And that's the First Blood, this one. You get the same thing here. Which is survive and survive. And survive when you need it. This guy is obviously S+. The line he's in, because this line is so crippled in DCPs, to get one for free automatic activate and just one extra for free, for very easy to get things. I mean, this basically always happens if you get into a pinch, so when you need it, you have it, and if you stay higher HP, you don't need it. And this one is very easy to get. And it's not First Blood, it's just your first kill. It's First Blood is the wrong thing, I think here. I think it's first kill, right? No, it's First Blood. You have to reach First Blood for it. But still, it's really great for him. So for the ship lines, especially the battleships, this guy's freaking insane. Even though you don't get a second ability for it, and you don't get a third ability, these two, survivability is just insane. Especially this one, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, Kuznetsov obviously S+ tier. Philippe, I like Philippe. Philippe is good. Le French. Submarines, nothing. Destroyers. Survivability expert, kind of the best, one of the best skills. Also survivability is really good for destroyers, so yep, really great. Survivability expert, same thing. Nothing for battleships. And survivability expert for planes as well. He doesn't get a second one. And he does get Rampant. Each devastating strike speeds up the reload time of the ship's armament, so each death strike plus speed, and keep in mind each death strike, not just one, every single one of them will make you faster, which is kind of insane. Sorry, this is not speed up, this is reload, my bad. Reload. Pretty great on the destroyers and pretty great on the battleships, because you can do it pretty significantly. Also, you can do it on the cruise as well. Henry has pretty insanely good guns. The AP is slaps, but usually are long range, so hard to get on those, but still pretty good. Then you get yourself Fire and Fury, which I like a lot. Each key area you have captured or assist in capturing, I don't think it includes the buffs from Arms Race though, you get an extra 1% fire chance for each and every one of them that you cap. So if you cap 3 caps, you get plus 3% fire chance on all your armament. Sorry, all AG shells. AG shells. So it doesn't work for carriers, it doesn't work for torpedoes, well obviously. It doesn't work on depth charges, I should say. But it's still pretty good to have a better fire chance, so let's see. And there's many fast shooting ships in the game, or faster shooting ships with a good fire chance on the French. More fire chance, especially on the cruise, is really good. The destroyers make well use of it. It's just a very good thing to have. Can you imagine a full bear having stacked this once or twice with that Taka? I mean, yes, that's pretty powerful. Pretty damn powerful. I use it quite a lot. And this one, if you like your fast ships, and the French are fast, and if you like to do juke and dodge and love your lighthouse build, this is insane. Every 2 million HP of potential damage received, increase your ship's maximum speed. So you have your fast ships, and I would say cruisers who like to dodge and juke. 2 million potential is a bit of work to get, but it does not stop. It is each and each. So you keep on stacking these things, they don't stop. This guy keeps on going. If you do well, you do better. You do better and do better. So this is really, really great. Philippe is high S or S plus. I would actually... He's no Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov is better because surviving, but he fits his ship so well. I would actually put him up with Nikolai. Because he's just that good with his ships. That good with his line. He's really, really great. So yeah, Philippe, many people sleep on him. Don't sleep on him, he's really... It's not about survive build in this case, it's about doing more damage. You got survive the expert, but it's all about doing more damage, depending on how active you are and how much you're spotted. It's skill focused. You really have to work hard for this, because if you don't know how to dodge properly, you get murdered here. If you don't know how to get the spot on a cap, you get murdered there. So it is difficult to get him properly functioning, but if you can, he's insane. So it depends on your skill. So you might put him on S. It's up to you. I'll put him S plus. If you can make him work, he's insane. Jersey. Let's see, and that should be Europeans. Of course, they don't have a premium. Well, they should have, right? Isn't the freeze there? Yeah, there you go. There you go, Jersey. We got AR, which is pretty awesome for a mostly destroyer line, anyway. So AR, anything else? Submarines. Weird that he doesn't get submarine AR, because that normally you get the same skill in all the other trees as well, but because they went out when he was released. Adrenaline Rush here as well. Adrenaline Rush same. And that's it. Okay. Adrenaline Rush. One of the best skills in the game. Every ship that can get it usually wants to get it. So that's pretty good. We don't get a second one as far as I know. No. And specialty. Reduce the reload of torpedoes for every 8 successful torpedo hits scored on enemy ship. Each. So it keeps them going. I should say minus torpedoes. Reduced. That's better. So don't get mistakes there. So, after every 8 torpedo hits, you reduce your torpedo reload. So if you're good with torpedoes and keep hitting them, which are extremely fast on this line, I mean 90 plus knots fast, so very easy to hit. If you hit 8 of them, you get a better reload on them and can use them more. And those ships like our torpedoes. They really like them. Holland. I believe we're at 95 knots torpedoes. And let's see. Made it from Holland, so lowest leveling. So torpedoes. Yeah, I do have the torpedo. I don't have the torpedo skill yet. I don't even have that, which I can do. So 90 knots here. We can upgrade that to roughly 95 knots here. Yeah, that's some fast torpedoes. We had a good range on them too. 15 kilometers. So easy to hit. Pretty easy to proc. Pretty dang awesome. And then you have, of course, the specialty of the tier, of the whole line actually, anti-air. Can be activated once per battle. Increase the continuous AA damage after shooting on 20 hostile aircraft. After 20 aircraft you usually get some damage, so your AA is a bit more damaged, usually. So, and you already killed 20 planes, and does only up your continuous AA damage, which is pretty good if you build for it, which I would recommend building for it always on Pan-Europeans. Continuous damage, long range, 166. It's decent, and if you build into it, it gets more. I haven't built into it yet because my captain is not yet at the right level, and I was still making the build proper. But it's a pretty respectable AA damage. You mostly want to use your flag clouds though, but you know, it's a good buff. It's a good buff. And since most people build them for anti-air, it's actually very successful. It's just that it only works after 20 hostile aircraft being shot down, which means you usually already get some shots on you, so your AA is lower. So it is okay. It's pretty functional, but it's mostly okay. That's mostly what it is. But the torpedo armament is pretty insanely good, and having Adrenaline Rush, which also synergizes with Torpedo Armament Expert, it's pretty nuts. And also this also synergizes here, the Gun Expert also synergizes with the AR. So the synergy is really great in this one. And if you play well, you can do it without taking any damage, then your A gets really ridiculous. It's a pretty good guy. I would say he doesn't have much about survivability. He's more about doing damage. It synergizes really great with the line. I'm thinking about high A, low S. I think I put him here because I think he's better Luigi or Yamamoto. Because the ships themselves, even without this captain, are good, so with the captain they're even better. So I'd put him in S. Risky. And then we're going to Gunther, which we played quite a lot. And Gunther. The Germans. Put him on. I think he is at the moment. I think I put him my. Oh wait, this. My Schlieffen, I think. Let's see, Schlieffen, where are you? There you are. Oh, he's Hanover. He's Hanover. Okay. Hanover then. There we go. So, Gunther Lutyens. We get after 140 hits, not shots, hits with main battery shells, main battery reload is reduced. Wait, we need to go first for skills. My bad, first skills. We got greasy gears and preventive maintenance for battleships. Cruisers, greasy gears. Destroyers, greasy gears and preventive maintenance. Submarines. Oh, submarines, that was a submarine skill. Preventive maintenance here as well. Because with Swirsky you don't get AR. But here you do get preventive maintenance. And you also got the same, no, improved engine boost. Okay, on carriers. Okay. So we got improved engine boost. Engine boost. Place there because there's more engine boost than that. Then we get ourselves grease the gears. And we got ourselves, I need to actually add one here. There we go. And we get ourselves preventive maintenance. I'll scroll it a bit, so keep it on screen mostly. Mostly. We got preventive maintenance here. So he actually got 3 skills, which is kind of different from the rest. Although it doesn't all apply to every single class, has a max of 2. Engine boost only for carrier, and doesn't get any of the others. So he's actually more functional in different ship types. Then 140 main battery hits. I believe it was -7%, right? The reload on this? 7.5%. Then he also gets, let's see, secondary battery loader. Okay, so upon secondary hits, he gets secondary reloads improved, and he gets air equipment expert. Hitting enemy ships 30 times with an aircraft armament speeds up preparation time. So planes hit 30 times faster planes. Faster plane rebuild, I guess, right? It's okay. He does also has another skill that I know of. That he has a 4th one. Resilience, yep. Each time you spot 3 enemy ships, your ship's HP gets restored. So, do you see how far we have to go for Gunter, by the way? How much shit he has? I think we have to go here. Yes. So, okay. So as you can see, Gunter has the most amount of stuff, by far. I mean, he got 3 skills here, 3 basic skills. He got 4 different abilities, which some of them are dependent on only being for planes. So he actually has some plane-only things, which I don't think there's any, no, not a single one of the others have a plane-only thing, right? So that's rare. Also, his skills also function in submarines, which the others don't all have, but they might get it later on. I mean, Swirsky, of course, there are no submarines for the Pan-Europeans, so maybe that's why they didn't implement it on the AR for him. But still, you get 4 abilities and 3 skills, which is already better than all the others, the most of any of those. His skills, 140 main battery hits for the Hindi, the Rune, things like that. Is pretty doable, and reload is pretty insane, so the combination is very good. Secondary hits, of course, we all know. More secondaries, better secondaries. If you want to play secondary ship, 9 out of 10 times you want to put Lucians on it, because this is just so good. It applies to every single secondary, so if you have a lot of them which already hit good, yes, 100% we want this. When planes hit 30 times, they have a faster rebuild time or faster preparation time, so you run out of planes slower. German planes are squishy, they're fast but squishy, so you do lose a lot of them. So this could help. I can't recall having this be used on me, but to be fair, I don't play too many carriers with Gunter on it, because I only could play Zeppelin because I don't want to main him on carriers. So haven't seen this hit a lot, but it is a nice thing to have on the German carriers since their planes are really squishy. And if you use your rockets for this, so you get more hits because more rockets per strike, then yeah. I mean, it's after 30 hits, so torpedoes, bombs, rockets doesn't matter, and you also have more rockets. So you can get more rebuilds, pretty good. And after 3 times spotting ribbon, you get a heal. This is kind of iffy. It sounds good, but the heal is 300. It doesn't matter if you're tier 1 or tier 10, the heal is 300. So oftentimes the heal of 300 has no meaning, especially if you are a battleship with 100,000 HP. 300 you will never notice. So no point on any battleship. The cruiser's HP is also too high for this to be functional. And with carriers in the game, and now submarines, it doesn't really proc on DDs. Also, it requires spotting ribbons, which only apply when a ship is not spotted for a pretty long time. I don't know how long, but pretty long. So you have to not spot things for a while, and then respot it to get the ribbon, and then 3 times to get the heal. It is very iffy to get, and the reward is pretty meh. I mean, I use it sometimes, and not a lot, but I use it sometimes on my craft Zeppelins, which I like to play as a light cruiser. Yeah, so I want to go in, I do some damage, and I want to go out. To get out with a carrier is hard, but it can be done, and then you can heal up a little bit by spotting enemies, but spotting ribbons are really hard to get after that time. So it's far too niche to be really useful. It's a funny thing. It can be okay-ish, but it's kind of trash. It's kind of trash. Just doesn't do enough. The heal is not fixed on the max HP, so it doesn't heal enough. Also, 300 HP is useful at tier, what, 5, 6? And after that, it's just not. And at tier 5 and 6, you're getting in such a close proximity anyway that the L ships will be spotted all the time anyway. So it's basically not useful at all. It's funny, but that's it. That's it. And it is required to keep people unspotted to get this buff, which is not worth it in the slightest to do so. But so yeah, this last one is kind of meh. But the secondary hits, the battle read after main battery hits, and the plane's regeneration after 30 hits is pretty good. He's a staple for the Germans. He fits on all the ships. He actually fits on the battleships, the cruisers, the destroyers, and the carriers, and can do very well on them all. Which the others mostly are focused on one ship, like for example the Cunningham and Isoroku are mostly battleship focused. So you can put them on your cruisers and you can put them on your TVs, and they can work well, but they're better on the battleships in my opinion. So Gunter is just very versatile, and he can fit anywhere. He has the most amount of abilities, so even though the last one is kind of trash. So I put him high A, low S. So I think he's kind of in there with Swirsky. So I put him there. So and this is my how I would set up the commands. I wouldn't say anyone is C or D. None of them is bad. Hals Yamamoto, hard to get them things to run, but when they run, they're really good. So I don't put anything in C or D. So this is my let's zoom in a bit. But this is basically what my my rating is of the Elite Commanders here. The action time varies. The action time is ship tier in second. Oh, is that so? Did I miss something there? Each time you spot 3 enemy ships, your ship's HP gets restored. You get HP per second, so that's just per second. Talent action time measured in seconds equal to the ship's tier. So okay, it does heal a bit more reliant on the ship tier. So it might be better. I thought it was just a single heal of 300, but no, you're right. It's actually HP per second. It's 300 per second. What's the normal heal? Well, Hanover does have a heal. Equipment. Since I don't know the seconds, I can't say much about it. But for example, Hanover here gets 300 HP per second. That's half a normal heal. I don't know how long it is, so I don't know how long this will function. Also on Hanover, when would you ever have 3 spotting ribbons on Hanover? I don't know. So it's still, the activation is still pretty iffy. It could be useful, maybe. The heal is then not insignificant. It depends on the time. I don't know the time. I mean, 3k healing on the S251 would be insane, but I don't think the duration is long enough for that. I could run on it and see how it works. I think I have a submarine built for him. We could try it out. Recall command. It means I need to take damage before it, no? Assign command Lucian's here. We do have the preventive mains. I like that he actually gets the submarine skill and the carry skill is really good. But I don't know if I knew the seconds, we could actually calculate it. We don't know the seconds. It's probably we can probably find it somewhere. So it's slightly more useful. Depends on how long it lasts. That's all it is. Depends on how long it lasts. 10 second cost tier 10. Is it that simple? Just 1 second per tier? Yeah, action second is equal to ship's tier. So that would be 30k. That would be 3k healing on 18k. It's a nice heal then. It's a nice heal then. Fair enough. Could be pretty good on submarines with low HP people, yes. But if it's within 10 seconds, then for battleships. It won't do anything. Battleship 3k is nothing. Measure seconds equal to ship's tier. It doesn't include any ship type. So on submarines and destroyers are the only ones who could make use of this and have actually enough healing in there that you would actually notice and be glad about it. The rest, none of them would notice. None of them. So. Yeah, and still you need to get 3 spottings, which even with submarines is hard if there's a carry in the game. So yeah, it's still an iffy skill. It's a bit better than I thought it was, but still iffy. So I'll keep it at I'll keep it at S tier. Still good. But this is how I would rate them. And if you want to go for Italian ships, get Luigi. You need that. It makes your ships so much better to have him. And it's just that the ships themselves are not that great, except the cruiser line is pretty decent. The destroyer line I think is trash. The battleship line is utter garbage. My most hated ship is in there, the Lepanto. Or the Marco Polo, either one. The tier 10s are okay, but the rest is, yeah. I mean, the cruisers are good. The Amalfi is good, for example, tier 8 and stuff. But yeah, you want to have Luigi if you want to go for Italians. They are fun to play, don't get me wrong, they're fun to play, they're just not that good. So this is my how I would rate them. And well, if you want to know now, you know. And I do like to get all the skills and things together. I didn't give them all the names. It does look a little bit janky. I could make this bigger, but then it gets so big and off the screen. I mean, look at the size here. We get to this, and then no one can read it. Well, this is the close I can get with everything in screen, which is kinda readable, but it's a bit big. Some explanations so big. So, but yeah, if you can get Nikolai, if you like your Russian ships, get Nikolai. Especially on the battleships, he's insanely good. He's good on everything. Philippe Abonio, it's more damage focused, because it's about surviving. Philippe is about dealing damage and dodging. Very skill based, but if you can, he's awesome. Really great. And Enrico, if you want to go for the battleships or anything with a super heal, you want to get a Cunningham on it. And of course, Swerve King Gunter. So those are the most important ones. Yamato and William, they're very hard to get, and their builds are harder to get, but they're pretty good on their own rights. And Luigi is basically mandatory if you want to play Italians. And there you have it. One special mention, which I need to do. Where is it? If you like your carriers, I mean, there's a lot of people like, I don't like carriers, but if you like your carriers, especially the Americans and the Russians, there is this guy, which I was able to get a lot of, Alexander Ovechkin. So Alexander. How many more do we have? I think we have 4 of them, right? Maybe not. Maybe they're on the. Maybe they don't show up when they're on the American ships. I think I have 4 of them. They're all on my carriers because they're insanely good. I don't. This is the wrong ship. Let's get a premium out. Do the premium Russian? No. Do the premium American? Yes. 1, 2, 3, and then with 1 in the Russian, so we got 4 of them. And they have, let's look this up. Div time? It is indeed div time, yes. Also for, I will invite Thunderchild as well. If he's here. There he is. Oh, he's in battle. Okay, we'll invite him in a sec. Maybe he's done. He's back then. Select ship in battle ready. Not ready. Good. We got the horn, right? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, the thing is, survivability expert. On planes is insanely good because that makes your plane survive and get through things and don't be blown up, which is insanely good. And Ovechkin brings you to carriers, which is, I believe, for this one reason, the best carrier captain in the game, because he has either one of these would work, armor or survivability expert, either one would work, and he got it on the survivability expert on planes. Is really insane. It's basically mandatory in every single carrier build if you want to keep your planes alive. So he's insane, and you can get 4 of them, or you could. I don't know if you can still do that. Also, one other thing, Ovechkin, since he is a Russian, went to America and started playing hockey. That's why I got a hockey guy right there. You can put him on Russian and American ships, which both have carrier lines, which makes this guy insane. Because he's so much more useful, because he's in 2 different country lines. He can be he's insane for any carrier. Yeah, so this is not a elite commander, but he might as well be. Just because of having survivability expert on carriers. Special mention, because he's so good for what he does.